Elden Ring is an expansive game that allows for all sorts of builds and for creativity to flourish. Homestuck is a webcomic that has the chance for practically infinite possibilities. So, because I cannot help myself, I am going to try and assign all of the sorceries, incantations, and weapon ashes to the aspects in Homestuck, from breath to blood to everything in between. Welcome to part 1 of Eldenstuck, assigning the aspect. There's no better place to start our journey than with the breath aspect, famously touted by the main character of Homestuck itself, John Egbert. Now, admittedly, most of the sorceries within Elden Ring are pretty one note. All you need to do is look at the amount of glintstone and Carian sorceries to come to that conclusion. But there are some spells that can work with certain aspects if you're willing to enact the suspension of disbelief. But enough about all this nerd stuff and technicalities. You want to know what sparkly magic wahoo BS is in line with breath. So let's get started. So, I started out writing this paragraph expecting to really get into the intricacies of sorceries and how you can do a lot with them despite there being less of them than incantations. But after looking at the Fextra Life wiki, I've come to the conclusion that my thoughts were severely misplaced. There is maybe one, maybe two base game sorceries that I'm able to assign to breath, and that is Zaymor Ice Storm and possibly Terra Magica. Because breath is supposed to be about leadership generally, I decided that Terra Magica would be a good fit, since it raises the magic strength of those around you, like a leader almost. Also, I'm sure I don't need to explain myself when it comes to Zaymor Ice Storm, since it's in the title of the spell. The only other base game sorceries that I may possibly be able to concede on is the Mist spells. Night Maiden's Mist, Thea's Mist, and Freezing Mist. Since, you know, it all involves the act of moving particles around the air, I figured why not, right? In all actuality, odds are good that most of the aspects wouldn't delve much into sorceries minus probably Void, Doom, Space, and, well, any other potential aspects that I am drawing a blank on now. Now, if we take the DLC, Shadows of the Erdtree, into account, then there is one more spell we can slap onto breath, and that is Rings of Spectral Light. Now, I know that the spell says that it's a death incantation, and it also has the word light in it, but come on, they look kind of windy, right? Incantations are probably going to be the real meat and potatoes of these videos, since there are 101 base game incantations, and I have to go through each of them to see if they're windy enough. The first ones that come to mind are all the support incants that activate an AoE. That means Heal, Great Heal, Lord's Heal, Lord's Aid, Lord's Divine Fortification, Golden Veil, Barrier of Gold, Golden Lightning Fortification, Protection of the Erdtree Heal, Blessings Boon, and Blessing of the Erdtree. Good God, that was a lot. And that's only the support. Keep in mind this is all within the idea of breath being a leader or spearheading the charge, so they need to keep the team in fighting shape as well as care for them as a good leader should. Not all Breathbound are going to have these insane spells off the rip though. Depending on the class, you could get the basic bitch heal, and someone else could get the big dick swagger incantations like Golden Vow, or Blessing of the Erdtree. Sucks to suck, it is what it is, you know what it is, but, you know, maybe you can luck out with the more offensive incantations. Here's a question for you all. Would lightning be considered an aspect of wind? Looking it up reveals that lightning is the charging of air to become electrically charged, then sent out as lightning. But in more basic Homestuck terms, it feels like it's too closely associated with the light aspect. Would the two aspects share the school spells? I guess there's nothing saying that they can't, and without the lightning incantations, it would be pretty barren in terms of offensive options. Let's just say they do share the spells and cross that bridge when we get to light, yeah? Let me know down in the comments whether you think lightning would be breath, light, or both. So, yeah, pretty much all of the lightning incantations are in the dominion of breath/light. So, Lightning Spear, Lightning Strike, Honed Bolt, Ancient Dragon's Lightning Spear, Ancient Dragon's Lightning Strike, Lanciax's Glaive, Fortisax's Lightning Spear, Frozen Lightning Spear, Death Lightning, Electrify Armament, Dragon Bolt Blessing, and Vike's Dragon Bolt will all be a part of the arsenal available to Breathbounds. Almost done with the incantations. I know it's a lot, but there are a lot of the fuckers, you gotta understand. Anyway, the last few that I want to touch on are the Bestial Incantations, mainly Beast Claw and Garank's Beast Claw. While they are both physical incantations, they release a shockwave in front of and around the caster respectively, slicing air to make shockwave sounds like the windy thing to me. Onward to the DLC incantations, and hey, we're in luck because there are actually wind-based incantations. Yay, it's about fucking time we got to correlate wind without diving into weapon skills. Heal from Afar is peak support leader, while Minor Erd Tree is a nice set it and forget it type of move. Too bad the actual health regen for the tiny tree is a pittance, and you'll be better off sipping on the dew of a leaf for healing potency. But you work with what you get. We got more lightning with a Knight's Lightning Spear, which is just Lightning Spear but better. Next we have Divine Bird Feathers. It's a bird incant. Of course I'm putting it in Breath. It's like making an avian Pokemon and not making it a flying type. Don't fact check me on that. I'm sure there are tons of not flying birds. Lastly, we have two wind incantations, Divine Beast Tornado and Spira. I refuse to write an explanation as to why they are in this video, because it's wind. You can't get more John do the windy thing than summoning a tornado and summoning a wind gust to fuck the ever-loving shit out of your enemies. So, I figured that the video would be a bit too short and feel incomplete if it didn't at least mention Ashes of War. Because of the versatility of weapon skills, they can be used to fill out a moveset in places that you're lacking in, or capitalize on the strengths that make someone stand out. But in all honesty, these could potentially be just second verse, same as the first between Ashes and Incantations. Now, you may think that Ashes like Golden Vow and Shared Order would be appropriate because of my decisions earlier, and on the surface you'd be right, but those two Ashes are more focused on the holy side of the buff rather than the support side, so they will not be a part of the breath skills available. Besides, there are tons of other Ashes that breath can have instead, like all of the storm skills. With just the storm skills alone, breath has Storm Stomp, Storm Blade, Storm Wall, Storm Assault, Storm Collar, Beast Roar, Vacuum Slice, and Phantom Slash. And, since I'm feeling generous, it can also have Black Flame Tornado since it has Tornado in the name. And, as for the DLC Ashes, there's Dryleaf Whirlwind, Horn Calling Storm, Wing Stance, Swift Slash, and Palm Blast. Don't say I never did anything for you. Alright. So, that's all the spells, incantations, and weapon skills a breathbound person would and could use if they got the unfortunate luck to get isekai'd into the lands between. Hope you all enjoyed the new experimental video. Depending on how it does, I may do another, with the better production value. No, odds are I'll keep it as is, because motivation's hard to come by, but hope it's enjoyable all the same. Don't agree with what I have decided for breath, or maybe you think I'm a genius. Whichever one, let me know down in the comments. Catch you on the flip side. Have a good day, night, evening, twilight, whatever it be, wherever you are. Deuces!